Hi guys, hi, how's it going? How you doing today? Hopefully today finds you well. Today I am doing my top 3 in every category for lips. I just recorded and did my top 3 in every category for base, so face primers, powders, concealers, foundations, all those things. Today I'm doing lips because it seems like it should be next on the agenda. And I hope that sounds like something you're interested in. For those of you new here, hi, my name is Donna. I'm a lover of all things high-end, colorful beauty and self-care. I also work in the beauty industry as a field leader for Ulta Beauty. I get a lot of education in my position. I like to bring you that education here. Ultimately, though, I'm just out here talking about makeup because I like to talk about makeup. And I'm assuming if you're here, you probably also like to talk about makeup. So I hope you'll want to subscribe before you go because that's what we do around here. And with that said, let's just talk about some makeup, shall we? Clearly, I am not getting enough sleep. I feel like my under eye bag on this side is like raging today. But with that said, today we're going to dive into lips. Lips is not my favorite category. For those of you who are not new here, you do know that. It's not my favorite category. But I do have some favorite products in the lip category. And to continue on in this top 3 in every category, I thought I would venture into lip products today and get those out of the way. So I am going to start with lip liners because I feel like it is probably the best place to start. And I actually have 4, kind of cheating a little bit. There are 3 different brands that I really pull from, and one that I got in a lucky bag last year that I really am enamored by, but I know that I just won't, I might go to Beautylish and pick it up, to be honest, but let's start with the ones that have been in my collection for a while that y'all probably know if you've been around for a minute, but ColourPop is one of my favorites. This one specifically is in the shade Oh Snap. And Oh Snap is actually one of my favorites. You can see this is pretty small compared to their normal size. And this is the shade of Oh Snap. It's just a beautiful, I do have, like, it appears, eye primer still on my hand. It does appear that it's just a beautiful little mauve toned moment. And what I love about these lip liners is that they're super creamy. They go on, they stay put, and I don't have to worry about them throughout the day. They're always on my lips. With that said, these do dry out rather quickly, and this one is pretty dried out, but it is also pretty old in my collection. What I have found though is as long as I can keep that push down in there when I do sharpen it, the pencil lead, if you will, is still really creamy and beautiful and goes on without me feeling like I'm pulling, tugging, and there is definitely no skipping that happens with this lip liner. Is one of my favorite lip liner formulations, and it just is also a perk that it is from the drugstore category, so you can get those pretty inexpensive. The next one I have is this one, and this is not an inexpensive lip liner, but you guys can see it is also pretty small compared to its full size version. This is a lip liner that I picked up in my haul of the Natasha Denona My Dream collection. I did pick up every product that was in that My Dream collection. This is the Natasha Denona My Dream collection lip pencil in the shade Natasha. You will see it has a very similar shade to that of Oh Snap from ColourPop, except for I do think that this one leans a little bit more brown mauve than pink mauve. Such a wonderful formula. Goes on, goes nowhere. Such a creamy formula. No pulling, no tugging for sure, and last all day. Like, I would say lasts longer than the ColourPop version for sure. I can put anything over the top of it. I know it's going to stay, and it's also such a beautiful shade that about anything goes with it. So love that guy. And this one I just picked up, a brand new one. This is the Charlotte Tilbury Iconic Nude. I think I picked this up in October. I love this lip liner and I jumped on that bandwagon pretty hard. Everybody on this platform loves this lip liner. This one is it. As you can see, I've got a pretty typical shade when it comes to lip liners that I love. This one is no different. I do think that this one leans right smack in the middle of the two, the Natasha Denona Natasha shade and the ColourPop Oh Snap shade. It's a little more neutral. I think far more goes with it. It's like a My Lips but better shade. It's a lip liner that I've repurchased twice now. I think I had a mini that I got in like a Sephora birthday gift or something like that, and then I ended up purchasing that the next full size and then this one as well. So I'm working on my second full size and I can run through those lip liners no man's business. I do wear a lip liner every single day, whether I partner it with a lipstick, a lip gloss. I need it to be variety driven so that it works well with everything, and I feel like those three definitely do. My runner up here is going to be this. This is the Wayne Goss Essential Lip Pencil, and this one is in the shade Medium Nude, and I just feel like I've only sharpened this a couple times. I know that it's not something that I'm going to be driven to go purchase because it's a little less mainstream, right? You can get it on Beautylish and the Wayne Goss website, but that's pretty much it. So I tend to kind of hoard this. This is just such a beautiful brownish, more brown, I think, than the rest of them, nude lip liner. It is just so pretty. It's this fourth one here. I also feel like kind of gives the Charlotte Tilbury one a run for the money in how, you know, beautifully waxy it is, but also how beautifully creamy it is. I feel like it's got a very compensatory formulation in this one and the Charlotte Tilbury. So I think that's also why I don't just run out and buy more, is because I can get the Charlotte Tilbury, not a problem, and they just started selling Charlotte also in Ulta Beauty, so I'm in an Ulta Beauty every single day, so it's just easier to get. But this is also such a beautiful lip liner formula in that it is creamy, stays all day, you don't feel like you're tugging at your lips for it, and I didn't like it at first. Like when you first get it and try and put it on, it is a little bit on the waxy side, it does feel a little bit tuggy, but as I've used it and sharpened it, it felt a lot more creamy at the end of the day. So love, love, love that lip liner. Let's go to bullet lipsticks. So I am a Natasha fan over and over and over again, so this had to come into play. I do have, I think, two Natasha Denona lipsticks right now. I have Noah, and then I have this one. This is in the shade Natasha from her My Dream collection, and it is just a really beautiful pinky nude. This is what it looks like right here. I do think that this is a beautiful shade that kind of leans a little bit coral if I need it to lean a little bit coral, but also leans a little bit pink if I need it to lean a little bit pink. It's a perfect shade of nude for these lip liners that I like to go over the top of. I think that it blends very nicely with every look. I think it's just a really perfect nude. It does lean a little bit pink sometimes for me, but I do love the formulation of it. This is a vegan formulation. It smells good and it just goes on so beautifully. I don't find that it sinks into like my lip lines or exacerbates any kind of dryness that I have for my lips, and I do feel like it moisturizes quite well. Now this one is the Dior Addict Beige Oblique, shade 418, I believe. I love the Dior lipsticks. I think they are quite nice. I love also the component, how it pulls out the bottom. It's just a real slim stick. I love this shade. It is a little bit more brown than the Natasha Denona one, but it is also a little bit more sheer. So it looks like it is more pink, but I think that's because it is more sheer and more of a satin formula. Honestly, my favorite lip combination is a lip liner with a gloss over the top. So a more satin formula for a lipstick, or like a natural formula for a lipstick. Definitely not a matte formula for a lipstick is more my jam. I do like a little bit more of a sheer formula for lipsticks. So this one does look a little bit more orange, but it is honestly on a lip a little bit more brown than it is appearing on my hand, and I think that that's why I just love it so much. It also is just really hydrating and beautiful on the lips. I don't feel like it falls into like any kind of dry lines I have on my lips, and it is stunning. It is stunning and really super comfortable to wear, to be honest. Now this one definitely is a little bit darker. It's one of, it's a very deep dark brown. This is the Estee Lauder Pure Color Sheer Shine in Born Flirt. And this is its shade right here. I love the component of it. Again, it's just luxe looking, pretty heavy looking. It's got a nice magnetic closure on it, so it's not like going to come apart in your purse without trying to get back together. It's got a nice sleek square packaging. It's not like a big bullet like this, but it also is a little bit shiny. This is it here. Obviously quite a bit more brown than the Natasha, quite a bit more brown than the Dior as well. And even though it is quite sheer, it is also quite pigmented, which is not something that I can say for the Dior one. It is a little less pigmented, obviously, than that one there. I just think that of the colors that I see myself wearing and of the, you know, lip liners that I have that I absolutely love and pull for, these three lip shades are my go-to lip shades, and they live right here on my table vanity area so that I don't have to go far to look for them. I typically don't venture out of very many shades different from those unless they are glosses that are super easy or like stains. The thing about it is though too is that, as you can see, I really do like a more satiny shiny lip than definitely a matte one. Every single one of those is definitely a shiny lip. I just feel like they're a little bit more hydrating. They don't exacerbate any kind of texture in your lips in the way like matte formulas always do. And I also feel like they keep my lips feeling like plump and hydrated in a way that a matte could never. So next I have liquid lip, and if you're not new here, you know that I don't really love liquid lipsticks, so I only have one liquid lipstick to share because it's truly the only liquid lipstick that I wear. With that said, I have a ton of liquid lipstick in my collection. Well, actually not that much, since I've been like getting rid of 90% of them, but I do have a few in my collection that are good. I would say the Lunar Beauty one is a really good option. Kylie actually makes a pretty decent liquid lipstick. At least her old formula was pretty decent. Other than that, like, I am just not a liquid lipstick person. Kat Von D, Huda Beauty, liquid lipsticks are fantastic. They are a little bit more malleable and they give you a little bit more time to work with them. The only liquid lipstick that I find myself wearing these days is the Urban Decay Lip Balm. So this is the one that you shake up and then you put on your lips, and then you hold your lips open for like, I don't know, 60 seconds, and then you can touch your lips together, but it stays on all day, goes absolutely nowhere, does not require any kind of like lip liner to help it from bleeding, because it absolutely doesn't. What I would say is if your lips are not moisturized, do not use this product because it will showcase every ounce of dryness that your lips have. I don't think this product sucks the moisture out of my lips necessarily, but I do think that if I haven't taken very good care of my lips over the last several days, this is going to just make my lips look awful. What I love about this product is, number one, I have this and another color. I do love this color. I think it's a beautiful, like, kind of like peachy red color. It would go perfect with this eye look that I am wearing today. I do think that it goes on and it stays really visibly like shiny, so it doesn't look like super matte and it doesn't look like it is taking all the moisture out of your lips like most liquid lipsticks do. This one is just, it's just beautiful, and it truly does stay all day. I have eaten with these on, I have exercised with these on, I have drank with these on, and they just truly stay. So lip stains for me are the better option. If I had to pick between a liquid lip and a lip stain, it will always be a lip stain, and the reason why is because you put it on and then you wipe it off and the color is still there. These two are the only two that I have in my collection, so they're the only two that I'm going to bring forth. I've had ABH in my collection before, as well as a myriad of other ones, and I just have found that those ones really dry out my lips to an uncomfortable, sometimes painful level, specifically if I'm wearing them over and over again. So these two are the only ones left because they don't do that. As a matter of fact, the Fenty Beauty Poutsicle, I feel like, does a really good job of keeping your lips moisturized. And what I love about these ones is they come in some pretty wild colors, but those wild colors aren't necessarily what you're going to get once you wipe it off. So this is this one's color, but if I wipe it off right now, this is the color that it appears on your lips. With that said, I could put another coat over the top of it. And I think you can do this with any liquid or any stain, to be honest. There it is again, and then I wipe it off, and the more and more you layer it, the more and more color payoff you're going to get out of it. And I love that, because you're not going to get straight up this crazy Mai Tai orange red until you build it up to that shade. These ones, like I said, I feel like do a really good job of keeping my lips feeling moisturized. So I will continue to purchase these as long as Fenty is making them as a lip stain. Again, if it came down to this or a liquid lipstick in terms of red, I would absolutely buy this and just layer it over the top of itself and figure out how to get a more red tone. Now, I do have 3 of these Poutsicles and love them so, so much. The other one is the Stila Calligraphy pen, and I did get this in gratis last year, and I was super intrigued because of the apparatus for applying it, right? It literally looks like a calligraphy quill. What I love about this is that it's just easy to use because it is like flat. It's super easy to create a lip line with it. I would say that this one is a little less moisturizing, therefore I use it less. I also would say this one builds, sure, but doesn't build super well. So that's going to be the more sheer version of, say, the Fenty Poutsicles. You're not going to get a whole lot of color payoff, but it is beautiful and gives your lips just that little kiss of color that you might want, and it's really easy to use. I don't necessarily think that this keeps, like I said, my lips as hydrated as maybe the Fenty Poutsicle one does, but it doesn't dry them out in the way that the ABH ones did. What I love specifically about this one is, again, it is just a little sheer kiss of color that I'm putting onto my lips. I can top this with any lip oil, any lip gloss, anything, and it's going to do wonders for bringing out a little bit more color into my lips. It's just a sheer kiss of color, so it's just super pretty. I think that there's no amount of like layering this that gets much better, and I honestly think I would, yeah, see, it's not a whole lot better. It's just a smidge bit of color. I can see this drying out a lot quicker than this will, obviously, because of how it's applied with that like flat, like what is this even? Like it's not a feather, but like, and it's also not a quill, but because of the flat, like, apparatus for soaking in the color and applying to your face, I can see this drying out quite quickly. For me, it hasn't yet, but I've only had it open for a few months. And for lip glosses, I have these 3 items. This is the Lawless Forget the Filler. You guys can see just how empty this guy is. This is in the shade Velvet, and this is really just a pretty perfect mauve tone for me. I love this so much. It cools down like even a super warm lip liner that I might have just put on. This is going to help cool it down. It is plumping without hurting. It does have a little bit of a bite to it, but not a lot of bit of a bite. And I would say the same for the Mauve Glow by Makeup by Mario. I recently just purchased more shades of these. Not recently, I guess in November I purchased more shades of these because I just love them so dang much. But these 2 shades look very similar, except for one's a little bit more pink, one's a little bit more brown. And I also feel like this does its due diligence to make my lips look just really healthy, really plumped, really beautiful. Love it so, so much. Both of these have a little bit of a bite to them, like I said, for plumping, but like not painful bite. You're definitely not going to get the same kind of bite that you get from a Too Faced lip injection. I would say that this is somewhere around the same kind of bite that you get from like a Buxom plumping gloss, which is like bottom of the barrel plumping gloss bite. In my humble opinion, it doesn't do anything for plumping. I don't necessarily believe that these plump, but I do believe that these do a great job of keeping your lips looking plump because of just how beautifully shiny they are. And they smell really good on top of that. So yeah, I love them. And then this is the Fenty Beauty, and this one specifically is in Fussy, but I have to be honest with you, I don't care what shade Fenty Beauty it is. This is my favorite gloss, which is kind of funny because when Fenty first came out with these glosses, I hated them because they smell a little bit like cherries to me, which smells a little bit like cough syrup to me. So I had a really rough time with them, but I love these glosses so much. And when we go through my gloss collection in my collection videos, when we actually go through them, you will see just how many I have. I have so many Fenty glosses. So these are my top 3 glosses in my collection. I go to them over and over and over again. Maybe not this specific Fenty one, but definitely these 2 specific, and just bought new shades in those other 2 so that I could test out some more shades that I love. So I do have 3 different lip oils here that I love. The NYX Fat Oil is actually rather new to me, but I do love this so much. I feel like it does a really good job of hydrating my lips. And I think that in terms of oil versus gloss, because sometimes that's hard for some brands, I do think that this performs really well as an oil and has the consistency of an oil. I do happen to have this in the shade Supermodel, which is a really gorgeous pink. It's not this pink on my lips, otherwise I probably would never wear it. I do love that as an oil. This one is the Dior Lip Glow Oil in the shade Cherry Oil, I guess. Color Reviver Cherry Oil. This, I would say, this reminds me more of a lip gloss than, say, this one. But it really does have the hydrating tendencies that a glow does, or oil does. It stays on my lips forever like an oil does. So it is an oil, but it's maybe a little bit more thick than I feel like the NYX Fat Oil is. I love the doe foot on these guys. They're just so, so big. And one coat and you've got your whole lip done. You don't need to worry about getting it all over the place. These are so good and really, really hydrating, and I will likely purchase more of them. And then I have this one. This is the Yensa Super 8 Lip Oil, and This is beautiful. This feels like an oil, acts like an oil, has a little tiny doe foot though, which I don't love. I wish it had a bigger doe foot, but I have used quite a bit of this, as you guys can see. This is a really good oil. And even though it's hot pink, it doesn't show up hot pink. It doesn't really have any kind of visible tint to it when it's on my lips. I feel like this one out of all three of these is probably the most oil-like in consistency. So I love that about it. And Yensa is actually a really great brand. I have several products from Yensa that I really, really love, but it's hard to get. Like I was getting it in, you know, beauty boxes for a long time. I think it's on Yes Style, but I'm not really sure. Other than what I've received in beauty boxes, I don't know how to get Yensa, but this is definitely a product that I would repurchase at the end of the day. Last but not least, I do have lip balms, and I have 3 different lip balms that I go back to over and over and over again. One being a little bit more new to my collection, so I'll wait last on that. The first is going to be the Clinique Moisture Surge. Listen, when I was in Vegas, the last FLC, my lips were tore up. I don't know what was going on with them, but they were so chapped. The hydration was just gone out of my lips. And I went up to one of my brand partners for Clinique, and I'm like, please help me. Look at my lips. And she gave me a moisture surge, and I'm so happy for the fact that she gave me a moisture surge. I went there because I know how awesome this moisture surge lip product is. This is so hydrating, and much like the moisture surge for your face, it has a really lightweight like consistency. It's not like Vaseline-y, but it's also not like not Vaseline-y, if that makes any sense. It's kind of got this almost like bag balm thought process behind it, which is a little less, what is the word that you're looking for, Donna? Thick than the consistency of like a Vaseline, and therefore feels a little more like a gloss. It reminds me of like a face oil that, or a cleansing balm, where once you get it in your hands, it just kind of soaks in and just kind of gets in there and cleans up everything, but it becomes like almost liquefied. I feel like this does the same thing. It's so good, and I love it. Within a couple of hours, I would say probably around the 8-hour mark, my lips felt good immediately, but my lips felt 100% better than they did the day before. While not appearing that way, they felt 100% better than the day before. So really, really happy to have this. And honestly, it is hands down one of those balms that when my daughter has her chapped lip issues, I will give her. Secondarily to that is going to be Laneige. Now Laneige, I have Laneige in this form. I have Laneige lip treatment, which is really beautiful and kind of like iridescent looking. I have the lip mask in my bathroom and on my bedside table. I love Laneige. So this one, this lip glowy balm in Gummy Bear, beautiful. It is such a great lip balm, and I cannot be happier that they came out with a Laneige product that you can get in the squeezy tube. I love that we are getting lip balms back in these squeezy tubes. It reminds me of like back in the day when I was a kid, and you know, Carmex or something like that, only much easier and beautiful to apply and on the lip. Oh, and smells good. This is in Gummy Bear. It smells good enough to eat. I want to eat it. That's how awesome it smells. And then last but not least, I have the Summer Fridays Lip Butter Balm. And this is actually quite new to me, but it went really, really quickly from me trying it for the first time to becoming my purse balm, replacing this one in my purse because I love the feel of it. I also love the color of this one specifically. This one is in vanilla beige, so it's kind of got that nice like little almost mauvey brown moment to it. It is so nice, and it goes on your lips creates moisture within your lips, stays on there for a long time. It reminds me of a hybrid between an oil and a gloss, in that you're having to replace your gloss multiple times throughout the day, whereas oils typically will stay on and your lips will feel moisturized for long periods of time. This one does the same thing to me. I remember the first time I wore it, putting it on, and then like, I don't know, 4 or 5 hours later thinking I need to put some more of that lip balm on, rubbing my lips together and going, it kind of feels like it's still on my lips right now. I love this product. I really wanted to get the birthday cake one. Missed out on it, and I was watching Kelly Gooch's video recently, and she said that it reminds her a lot of the pink sugar one, both in smell and color, so I just might pick up pink sugar. But with that said, that is it. That is all I have for you. Those are my top 3 products, all things lips. Please let me know what you think about these products, and please let me know what your favorites are. Don't forget to hit me up down there in the comment section and let me know what your favorites are. Tell me how you felt about this video. Tell me what you think about my picks. Look, I just tried to wipe off my hand. We still have the Urban Decay Lip Bond, the Fenty Powsicle, the Stila Calligraphy Pen. These are my lipsticks. This one being the Dior, no, this one being the Estee Lauder Natasha. Dior is nearly gone. And then these are the lip liners that I had pulled out and showed you. We have Wayne Goss here down at the bottom. This one is Iconic Nude. This one is Natasha. The ColourPop one is gone almost, which is very sad, but there you have it. There you have it. Proof is in the pudding, right? And look, I'm just rubbing, and those are still kind of there. So thank you guys so much for joining me today. I hope that you enjoyed the video. If you did, don't forget to give it a big thumbs up, and I do hope that if you're new here that you loved it so much that you're going to want to subscribe before you go. I do have a ton of content here on my channel, and I would love to welcome you into my YouTube fam. With that said, I hope that you and yours are doing well, that you are all safe and healthy and getting along as best you can, and that you are all loving each other, but loving each other from afar. And until next time, bye friends.